Hi guys, Birdman here. Today, in continuing with the theme of simple recipes for my bachelor friends, I'm going to be showing you Grandpa George's chili. Now, Grandpa George was a military man from back in the day overseas. When he migrated to the States, like many Greeks, he ended up in kitchens. He used to work for a fast food chain called Wesson's. And then he graduated to being a business owner, raised his kids, married them off, and retired and called it a day. Now, when he was in his business endeavors here in the States, he was a self-made man, no handouts. He was a food vendor. And one of the condiments which he offered in his food vending business was chili, beef chili. Not the bean variation. You know, for example, you had beef chili as you know it, less the beans. And, you might order a hot dog or a hot sausage with the mustard and chili, or here in New York, an everything hot dog would be mustard, sauerkraut, and ketchup. Mustard, sauerkraut, and onions. In modern day times, people have the expectation of adding ketchup and calling it everything. But it's not the way it was. Everything was mustard, sauerkraut, and onions. Ketchup was extra. Then you had chili, which not too many people offered. My grandfather did, which was beef chili. I'm going to show you that recipe. I normally don't give out family recipes, but when it comes to this one, because I do not know whether it was his own concoction or a variant he learned in the kitchens in places similar to Wesson, and he just added his own flair. So I can't solely give him 150% credit for it being his. I will give him 99% credit. I will always know it as his though. No one else ever showed me this recipe. Here's the deal. Chopped up onion, chopped up green pepper, chopped up and minced garlic, celery, bay leaf. You only really need one large bay leaf, but I don't have large ones, so we're going to use 3 small ones. Chili pepper, cinnamon, ground cumin, tomatoes. It's supposed to be basically crushed tomatoes. I don't have crushed tomatoes. Lady Bird and I make our own sauce from the tomatoes which we grow in the garden, and we can it. Ketchup, ground meat. Later on in the video I will give you the proportions, but for now, oregano. Ground meat's gonna go in the pot with these ingredients here. And then you're going to brown the meat. These are going to begin to break down and caramelize. The liquid's going to seep out. It's going to come to a point where you're going to have cooked out the beef. A lot of the grease would have surfaced in the pot, which you'll see. You drain off some of the grease. You drain off some of the grease and the beef is cooked. You will add your tomato sauce. You will add your ketchup. your dry spices, and one more ingredient which you do not see here, which I will show you though. Alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. This has been in here probably less than 5 minutes. I have it on high. The stove is on high. And onions, celery, garlic, green pepper, all in the stir. Okay, so are the bay leaves. And now we're going to just let this work itself down. You got to keep that in mind that you're on the stove and you don't want it to stick to the bottom. Now, Grandpa's recipe called for 2 more ingredients. I said 1 earlier, but I made a mistake because it's been a while. Called for a little bit of oil at this stage, so I put a little bit of oil in here. Now, whether he used vegetable oil or canola oil, whatever was cheaper, because it was a business. Canola oil, vegetable oil were one and the same. I'm doing this for me, for my house, and I opted for olive oil. Those who follow my little cooking things know that I got pure olive oil. I bring it in once a year from overseas. Anyway, when all the pink starts to disappear from the meat, the water that's evaporating and boiling in down there, I didn't add any water, is eventually going to turn into a grease. The chopped meat's going to give off a lot of its fat. You're going to skim or drain some of that fat away. Then you're going to add your cinnamon, your ground cumin, your chili powder, and your oregano. Now, Grandpa didn't use a lot of chili powder in the chili because he didn't want to scold people. If you wanted more heat, they offered crushed pepper that you would sprinkle on your food to give it more heat. The other ingredient that I didn't show you earlier is vinegar. Vinegar to deglaze the pan. Then, once the dry ingredients go in, you're going to add some vinegar. You're going to add the tomatoes, sauce or crushed tomatoes. You're going to add some ketchup. And then you're going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for an hour and a half, sometimes even longer. Now, what's the recipe? The recipe goes a little bit of chopped meat, a little bit of that. Listen, it wasn't a science, but for all intents and purposes, figure you had 1 pound of ground meat and you would use 1 medium-sized bell pepper, 1 medium-sized onion, about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and teaspoons of the spices. Say 1 medium can of crushed tomatoes, and about 5 or 6 tablespoons of ketchup, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and about an hour and a half worth of thyme, 3 bay leaves, or 1 large bay leaf. Alright guys, we'll be back as this progresses. Alright guys, we're back. So I put in, right in the center right there, is the oregano. There's the chili pepper on the ladle. There's the cumin. And the cinnamon is around the perimeter. You guys can't see it. Instead of the vinegar, I'm going to use, so here we go. A little bit of that. Now stir in the boys and girls like that. Okay. Make sure nothing sticks. The wine gets to the bottom. And give me 10 seconds. I'll be right back. We're getting ready to put the tomatoes and the ketchup and the stuff in. Stand by. Alright. So the tomato sauce made it in. The ketchup made it in. You saw the wine make it in. Okay. I got this down now on low. And I'm going to let this simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for like an hour. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. And periodically I'll come and I will stir it. I will taste it. And I'm looking for a certain thickness and a certain amount of stick to the ladle. This is not good stick. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, we'll be back. See what's going on? See that? That's the yumminess right there. That's the yumminess. We're getting to that stick that I was mentioning earlier. Alright guys, let me stir this pot and we'll be back with the final product. It's 2 o'clock now. It's been marinating since 1. Simmering since 1. Alright. It's done. See that? And as it sets, it'll get better. The perfect stick. Now, this right here, put it on nachos with cheese. Put it on spaghetti. Make tacos. You can put it over rice. You can just put cheese on it and go to town. You want beans, add beans. You can have hot dogs with mustard. Now, you got the recipe, start to finish, about an hour and 45 minutes. But an hour and 45 minutes, make a big part of it to my bachelor friends. And my bachelor friends make a big part of this. You can have 3 or 4 or 5 different meals throughout the whole week. The Birdman says good morning. Bye, 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 bye.